and we have to try to defend that and just try to continue to get better at us.
Asia, you guys made history tonight hosting 10,419 fans. Compared to your first game in this arena to tonight, how special is tonight?
It's huge. It's been amazing to watch the fan base that we've grown, the fan base that grew up with us, the fan base that got it out the mud with us. It's been truly amazing to watch it form. It was so loud. If we can turn the drum down a little bit, that'll be great. But it was really loud, and I love that. And that's us. Our fans are a part of our culture as well. They make us go. They bring us the energy that we need every single night. It was a big night for us, so I'm glad that we got the win in front of them.
Hey, Kevin Long with Fuel Sports Network. You started the game off 17 points in the first quarter, and then started to kind of slow down for you. What was different in that second and third quarter, whether it had been on Phoenix's side defending you, or was it just your shot not being on in that second and third quarter?
I'm trying to think back. I mean, basketball is a game of runs. I'm not going to go for 17 each quarter. That's the whole part of the game. It's just, I'm going to be getting a lot of different looks and just making sure that my teammates were getting a role. I feel like in that sense, it wasn't me, it was KP in that sense. So I'm not going to be honing in on, oh my God, I need this amount of time. So that's not how the game goes. I just kind of took what the defense was giving me, and my teammates allowed me to kind of rock out a little bit, and it just kind of went from there.
Asia, Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. Your thoughts on Phoenix, this new Phoenix team? Was it what you expected, better than what you expected?
Oh no, the Phoenix is good. It was exactly what I expected. This lineup that they have, and this is what I beat you. It's pretty cool. I love the look of them. They have a different feel, it's a different pace of speed. It's something that is new that I've seen out of the Phoenix team. So I give my utmost respect to them with the way that they're playing right now. And like I said, this is without the superstar at the center. So I love the way that they were playing. They gave us literally everything. They threw a lot at us, and we needed that. So I think for like both.
Gonna always be there, so you don't have to try to defend that. Just go and do what you've been doing and execute that. And I feel like that message in itself made the night for me, because I feel like we get so caught up in, oh my God, we got to do, we got to do this, and it's like that banner's gonna be up there forever. My ring's gonna be in the trophy case forever. Let me focus on getting better, and then that's when everything else flows. So it's been a big night. I'm super excited just to sit down and we can go to our ring party.
Nikias in the middle.
Hi, Asia. It felt like Phoenix, when they went to the zone, really kind of bogged you guys down. Was there anything in particular about the zone about you, or did you feel like it was more just a tempo deal for you?
The lane. I mean, Phoenix has a lane. There's not your average zone in a lot of different spaces. I mean, normally you kind of have the two smaller guards up front, and it's like normal zone that you see. But they have length up front and quickness, so it gave us a different look, and it kind of put us on our heels a little bit. But we needed that. I don't think we really did that in practice a lot. So it kind of woke us up a little bit and shown us like how we can maneuver it and handle it, because we don't have Chelsea to kind of pick it apart. So we kind of had to figure it out, and that's what I appreciated, is like we had to work, and they made us work.
Carlos Smith from Cross Line Network. I'm also from South Carolina, by the way. Would you say, being that this was the second time around, was there a little less stress or anxiety leading into this game tonight on the ring ceremony?
I'm always stressed. My anxiety is always through the roof, because these are the games that people look to steal. Like, I know if it was somebody else's ring, like I'm coming in trying to run it. Like it's a part of being a competitor. And so I feel like these games are the hardest because you have that emotion. It's a lot. You don't go through your normal routine. I mean, they were rushing us. I go out there with one ankle tape. Like you're not in your routine, so it kind of shakes you a little bit. But at the same time, we still have to come out and execute and play our game. And I think we did that for a couple quarters. But yeah, I was still anxious and still very stressed.
We're going to jump to Zoom for 2 questions. Mike Vogel, go ahead. And then Matthew.
Yeah, Asia, I just wondered, you mentioned with Chelsea, obviously you guys had to win game 4 in the finals last year without her, but are there certain things that you guys just have to adjust to when she's not there? Obviously you've got great guards, even with that, but is attacking the zone maybe part of that, or other things that you see that maybe are a little more difficult when she's not out there?
For sure, like the organization side of it is a little hard for everybody because we're all trying to compensate for a huge piece of the organizer that's gone. And I think that's the biggest thing is just down the line, we have to really be dialed in now more than ever because we don't have our point guard right now. But like you said, I'm surrounded by some great guards that's going to make it work. And we're being put in different situations that we aren't normally in, and we have to learn to adapt and adjust on the fly. And so I'm glad we got a chance to show that today. But yeah, it's going to be a work in progress, but definitely I think the biggest part that we have to really figure out is getting organized on the fly and working out of it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew, close us out, please.
Hey, Asia. At times on defense tonight, Phoenix went to that small ball lineup with Sophie and Beck Allen at the 4-5, and you guys struggled to guard them with the free-point shooting and the small ball. How going forward do you guys adjust to that on a defensive side of the ball, because there were times that their spacing really hurt you guys, especially with those 3-point shots?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have a lot of people playing out of position. I mean, you had Kia not guarding guards, and whatever scheme we could put in, it is a struggle because bigs are going to have a mindset of what we've been taught and learned for X amount of years throughout our career. So it is hard to break that mold, but I'm glad we had a chance to figure it out on the spot because the game does not stop. And when you have great shooters like a Rebecca Allen, like DT, like a Sophie Cunningham, you got to really play them different. And so I think it really opened our eyes as like we can't do what we're normally doing. So it was tough, but I feel like we figured it out along the ways, but that's definitely something that we're going to continue to work on.
Thank you, Asia.
Yeah.
Thanks, Asia.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great night. Hey.
Yes. Questions or any comments on the game first? Oh, you got it? Oh, I thought you were looking. Sorry, right back here. Then Nikias. Nikias.
Hi, Coach.
You tried to tell me about that zone, huh? Tried to tell me about it. I appreciate that. But we've never seen one. Okay, good question.
Well, my question would be, what did you see from Phoenix's zone?
I saw a lot of unorganization on our part. That's what I saw. Look, at the end of the day, defenses are going to be switching things up. I thought their zone was effective. We didn't handle it very well. I thought we held the ball a lot. We didn't get into gaps, stood a lot. So we just got to up the activity. I'll try to put something a little bit simpler in there for us to run. But I think we just have to get used to defenses switching up. I think as long as Chelsea's, not out there, they're gonna put pressure on us to constantly make reads. And that's what I would do. Mix up defenses, make us run different stuff, and they did that tonight.
Terrell Emerson, Talk That Talk Media. 2 questions if possible, Coach. Earlier this season, I'll take that back. Earlier tonight, rather, you were coaching, up coaching. Tyler was right behind you and right to the left of you. Chelsea was up as well. You talked over the last couple of seasons about how much of a benefit it is to have the mind of Chelsea Gray on the court. Obviously, you'd rather have her out there, but how much of a benefit is that to kind of have that sitting in the coaching ranks with you right now?
It's like having another coach. I mean, she knows she has the green light to speak and communicate. You know, a lot of times I'm watching something else and she can get them and have their ear more on the bench, you know, where they can make some adjustments. But I mean, it's like having another coach. But we like the coach on the floor too. So, you know, we'll make it work and we'll figure out. And really, it's a really great growth opportunity for the rest of the team. You know, to step up in a different way, whether that's organizing us, making reads, figuring out very quickly, hey, they're in man or hey, they're in zone. So we'll take the win. Wasn't pretty, but just lets us know we got lots of room for improvement.
Coach, tonight was really special, 10,400 in attendance. Asia Wilson said she really appreciated that Tom Brady went into the locker room and spoke to the team. Can you share more on Tom making that effort and what it meant to you?
Obviously, we always think we have the best ownership group, starting with Mark. And, you know, I thought it would be cool to bring in a sports figure in who's not only invested in us and our team, but also knows a few things about winning. Just won a little bit. So just let him have the floor a little bit, because he's somebody that, you know, has sat where they sat and chasing history and trying to be the greatest. You know, so those things don't just happen. You know, you really have to be intentional about your work, about your approach, and be intentional about winning the moments, you know. So we're certainly happy that he came and shared some of his knowledge and passion and really love for women's sports is what he talked about in there. So yeah, kind of cool moment. I think a couple of people's jaws hit the floor because I didn't tell them about it.
Coach, over here, Cassandra Cousineau with LV Sports Biz. So obviously Chelsea's out. How long do you expect her to be out, and who are you looking to be the kind of main point going forward? You had a couple of different combinations out there today.
Yeah, I didn't like that combination at the start of the second quarter, so we'll work on that a little bit. We're still working out the wrinkles a little bit. You know, like I said, no one person is going to fill those shoes. We have to do it collectively. It means the ball's in Jackie's hands more, it's in Kelsey's hands more, and it's just next person up. You know, I got to find some more minutes for Megan, but when they went in that zone, I started calling stuff that I hadn't put in yet. So I had to play the vets that knew it, even though that looked like kind of crap too, is what it is. We'll move on and get better, but it's next man up. And everybody got to do a little bit more. That's it.
Two more in the room, and then we'll go to Zoom. We got Gil in the back, and then we'll finish up.
Coach, Alberto Ron, Channel 8. Two questions. You mentioned what you didn't like about your team. What did you like from your team tonight, and also your initial thoughts on the Rams?
I thought we did a decent job of defending without fouling. Obviously, it was a physical game, but we kept an attacking mentality. I like shooting a lot of free throws. I thought there was a lot of hits and grabs, and you know, you go to the line and you benefit from that. There were some moments that I really liked. When the ball was popping, we were playing out of our defense. My favorite moments is when I don't have to do crap. They just call their own. There's no play. It's just they're playing out of their defense and playing with principles. They're playing and making reads on the defense on the fly. It's not any set play. Plays tend to be predictable, but it's about making reads out of those plays. But when we're running out of our defense, we're just playing. And I think those were our better moments tonight. And we had more of those moments where the ball was popping out of the stops on defense, where it get changed side to side, rather than that half court where we kind of got bogged down and, we had limited ball and player movement in our half court offense, and that's not good. So, look, first game of the season, look like it. We'll be all right, and we'll smooth some things out.
Coach Alex Eshelman with Channel 13 over here, sorry. I'll go out here. He asked about the rings. Would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. And then alluding to Palumbo's question, you said a couple of your players' jaws dropped when they saw Tom Brady walk in. Could you reveal who that might have been or what your favorite reaction was?
Well, Kate Martin, I know, was like a little awestruck. KP, we know, loves Tom. No, it was great. It was great. Kind of had him in the back, so they didn't really know he was coming on to the floor. And what was your other question?
The rings.
Oh, the rings. Yeah, those. They're big and heavy. I hadn't seen them, so it was pretty cool to see them kind of for the first time. Everybody saw them for the first time. They're bigger than last year's. So Mark, he's like, he keeps raising the standard too on himself anyways. So, yeah, it was a special moment. We got some things we got to run to celebrate that. And hopefully, the new players get to see and feel a taste of that, and it makes them hungrier to have that moment, to get some hardware. So we all got to stay motivated. We all have to stay thirsty, and know that we have a lot of work ahead of us. But it was definitely a special moment tonight. And I guess Kathy got my text on the jacket. My bestie.
Matthew, we've got time for one quick one.
Hey Becky, it looked like early in the game you guys were switching on defense and you were getting turnovers, playing out of defense like you like, and then it seemed in the second and third quarter, even as you were switching, it just wasn't working. As some of your switches, you were getting lost and you weren't switching up, and Phoenix was hitting threes. And I was just wondering your thoughts on the defense and how you maybe need to adjust or work on that part of switching on your ball screens to better help against that as the season progresses.
I just saw a lot of not solid. I mean, they know what they're supposed to do. There's a reason why when we first come out of the gates, we're real sharp. We have to maintain that sharpness throughout the game, and we didn't. Some of their stuff is different too, With Megan, when we're switching a lot, it's hard for her to guard Khalid Copper. Where Asia and Kia, it's a little bit easier for them. So in some ways, we're still trying to incorporate some of our rules in our base defense, which we were in base defense basically for most of the game. And the switching at times just got lazy. You can't be lazy. There's no time to rest. Diana gets 11 threes off, basically pretty open. That's a problem. So it just tells me we're not locked in, we're not touching, we're not physical, we're not disruptive. Conversely, I thought we came out like that, but as the game went on, the mind, the attention to detail, the physicality can sometimes slip. And that's always the challenge, is fighting that natural human tendency to have slippage as you get tired or you're not as locked in. You got to stay locked in the whole time. They made multiple runs at us. But at the end of the day, I felt good about winning 3 out of the 4 quarters, even though the second quarter was a real stinker. But we'll learn from it and move on. And my biggest thing is just getting more organized and communicating, because there are times where we're calling play calls and it's not getting down the line. So that communication piece, both offensively and defensively, has a lot of room for improvement. Part of talking, though, is listening. So we gotta have good listeners.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
And we will be back with Jackie momentarily. Your hand.
Jackie Chris Wynn, K-Dub, here in Las Vegas. Second year in a row, preseason with a ring ceremony, and then, of course, the banner raising before you start the season. Just your thoughts as far as, not the experience for you personally, but then, you have to play a game right after that, right? You're going up against a gritty team in Phoenix in the season opener, and just kind of your thoughts on that transition and your thoughts on the whole pregame.
Yeah, ring night is always special, and so we just try to, have fun and enjoy the moment, but also just know that we have a game to play. And so today we didn't get much of a warm up, and for people like me, I'm very routine based, so getting less than 10 minutes to warm up isn't ideal, but we love being able to raise the banner and get those rings, so it's always special.
Exactly. Kevin Long with Fuel Sports Network. You guys started off very, very fast out of the gate in the first quarter. What changed in the second and third quarter, in your opinion, that you guys feel you can work on next game and moving forward in the season?
Yeah, we weren't getting stops in the second quarter, especially. I think they scored, what'd you say, like 22 points or something like that in the second quarter. So just getting stops. We were playing out of our defense in the first quarter, and we were able to get going in transition. And so whenever we aren't getting stops, we we're able to do that. I think the biggest thing is just, playing a full 40 minutes of defense, putting together a full 40 minutes and executing the game plan.
Hey, Adam Hill, Review Journal. We heard that Tom Brady came in and talked to you guys in the locker room. I guess, what was your thoughts? Becky said she surprised you with it. What was your thoughts when you first saw him, and what did you take from what he told you?
Yeah, it was cool being able to see him before the game. He's a legend, and just being able to hear him talk to us before the game was super exciting, and it's not too often you have Tom Brady walk in your locker room, so definitely fun moment, and just taking in all the things that he was telling us. He's one of the greats. He's done this before, he's won a lot, and so just being able to have him, in our locker room is special.
Will?
Jackie, Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. You know how teams play after year, but with the additions of Tosh and Cobb, what was the pace of Phoenix like? Was it what you expected, something different? What your mindset coming in and the reality of facing this new team?
Yeah, they're both great players, and we knew they would be great additions for Phoenix, and so the pace was a lot faster, They were up in us, on the defensive end, being super aggressive, and so we kind of expected that just from watching, their preseason games. But they're great players, and it's a new Phoenix team, and they're super aggressive on defense and looking to get downhill on offense. Tasha especially, and Ka too. But she can shoot the three too, and then DT, she just does what she does, and so just trying to execute the game plan is the biggest thing for us.
Hi, Jackie. It felt like Phoenix's zone really brought you guys down in the second quarter, a little bit in the second half as well. I was curious what you saw from the zone, what made it kind of difficult to penetrate.
We just weren't making quick decisions. We were kind of just probing a little bit, hanging on to it. The ball was sticking a little bit. So I think just making 0.5 decisions like Coach talks about a lot. And just being aggressive, just because they're in a zone, we don't need to let that take us out of our game plan and our our like what we do. And so I think just being aggressive, attacking the zone. We settled a little bit on the outside. So, we just have to kind of break down their zones so that they'll get out of it.
Good. One more in the room, and then we'll close out with Christos and Rafiq on the Zoom.
Jackie Donetta, no plays on Sports Talk. We saw Chelsea Gray talking to you, playing kind of a coach's role. Just talk about the respect you have for her as a player and in that role as well, and what she said to you.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Chelsea. I had watched her play for a lot of years before we became teammates, and so she's kind of, in addition to Becky, and so she knows a lot, she sees a lot, and so I'm always looking over there, trying to get feedback from the coaches or Chelsea, and Chelsea knows I'm always asked questions, and so she'll kind of sometimes just walk over, call me over, just tell me like what she's seeing, and so. Yeah, even though she's not out there on the court with us, she's still doing a lot for us and just helping us run plays and just telling us what she sees out there.
Christos.
Hey Jackie, congrats on the win and the performance as well. I would like to ask about the grandstand. How comfortable you feel when the game is close and you got the grandstand? Because we know that at grandstand you always have the ability to make the right play on both ends of the floor. Is it true?
Yeah, I think, coach has a lot of confidence in me to have the ball in my hands. So just trying to make the right reads, make the right plays, be aggressive when I need to be. We just get stops on the defensive end. Just taking a lot of pride in my defense, and just trying to execute the game plan.
And Rafiq, please close us out as quickly as possible.
This is Rafiq with the Budget Sports Talk. Obviously not a great three-point shooting night for the team overall. Well, despite the victory, I mean, what has Coach talked to you about as far as like developing the three-point shooting going to the next game?
Yeah, we know we have a lot of great shooters on this team, and we know they'll fall. We just gotta, trust the process, keep shooting it, get some easy ones, and I think, just getting to the basket will open up the threes for us, and so really just playing our game, not get too caught up, in today. Today was our first game, just shaking a little bit of nerves. Obviously, the ring ceremony, not getting a full warm up, and so. I think we have confidence that we'll shoot it better next game.
Appreciate it, Zach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jackie.
Thank you.